Heading off to Colorado for a wedding. Made it to the airport. We have 2 hours before the flight takes off, so I'm gonna go get a drink and do some workout. Welcome back, friends. If you're new here, my name is Gabby. I do weddings a little all over the place, and today we're headed to Colorado. And I really wanted to take the time in this video to share how I think like a wedding planner. So I'll walk you through what my thoughts are when I get on site. I'll take you through the ceremony, reception, a little behind the scenes, and we'll set up the space for the wedding this weekend. Hey guys, it is rehearsal day, welcome party day. I'm with my friend Shonda. She always helps me with the Colorado weddings, and so basically we got in last night. We went and grabbed dinner at this amazing, Mongolian? Himalayan place. It was so good. And then we just hung out on the balcony. I didn't film any of it because I was just happy to be here, wanting to be present. But today we're headed to Buena Vista, Colorado. We have a welcome party to set up for. We're picking up a sign. We are troubleshooting some porta potty situations, and we'll just take you along for the ride. Welcome to the Surf Hotel, one of my absolute favorite places to do weddings. We're a preferred planner on the list, so we're here once or twice a year and absolutely love working with their team. They provide in-house catering, bar, and most of the rentals, so it makes our job a lot easier, but there are still some behind the scenes things I need to show you because there are parts that are a little bit tricky. This is how we want our clients to organize their bins of items for us to place. Bravo, this is beautiful. A specialty bar. If you know, you know. So the welcome party is happening at a friend's private home in the area, which we love. It makes it so personal. We're also doing the rehearsal there. But one thing to note about having weddings or having even welcome parties or day after brunches at private properties, there's a lot of things you have to keep in mind. For example, trash was something that we had to discuss because there's no trash service over in this area and someone has to take it to the dump. Rentals, food items, are there going to be critters? Do we even have enough trash cans? A tent, we had to rent a tent and tables and chairs. Lighting, do we have enough extension cords that run to the house? What about power for the DJ? So just know there are a lot of little details, especially when you're having a private event at a home or private land, that are important to remember. And I'm so passionate about this topic because we do a lot of these events that I wrote a whole blog post about tips and tricks and truly what the cost of having a wedding specifically on private land or on a private property, how much that costs, because you might be surprised how much more it is. It's wedding day for Juliana and Nate, and we are ready to go. We have our setup shirts on. We're going to head over to the ceremony, which is in the meadows. We have to set up some directional stuff and then a little beverage station and some reserve signs on the chairs. And then we're going to come back to the hotel and set up for the reception tonight. And it's just going to be amazing. It's beautiful outside. My lips are very dry already because of the heat and the dry weather, but we're ready to go. So let's head out. Okay, indicating the turns.
Around here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The balloon's gonna fly that way, but if we put
That's
it high
okay.
enough, right?
Yeah.
Not high enough.
I mean, it'll fluctuate. All right, we're gonna set up our beverage station here. The ceremony with a beautiful view.
All right, we are at the reception in the Ivy Ballroom in Mr. Hotel. We're about to set all of the tables. We're gonna do some really cool place settings, and then there's some incredible flowers. Let's go take a look at those next. And then we're also gonna set up cocktail hour, the bar space, and the little guest look area.
While we're setting up, I'll tell you a little bit about the challenge for this wedding. So the hotel has an offsite property called the Meadows, and that's where you saw us setting up the chairs earlier. That is their ceremony site. At the time of this wedding, there was also a really big festival happening in that same location. So the original location for the ceremony was no longer available. It had a bunch of like tents set up and all sorts of stuff. But we found this place more or less adjacent or across from where the tents were set up, and I actually think the views were way better. So the thing to keep in mind is guest transportation. They all have to get themselves there. They can't get lost, otherwise we'll be delayed in time. And that's just another buffer to put on the timeline. I always make sure that normally we have 30 minutes for guest arrival, but in this case, I would be fine if we had 45 minutes to an hour, just to make sure people found the right place. They saw our balloon markers, and they eventually heard the music that was playing in the background and could find their seat. Now, of course, it was super hot, it was windy, so nobody wanted to be in the sun for very long, but we made it work. Also, quick tip for all you planners out there, please buffer at least 30 minutes for the bride to get into her dress. I know some brides are gonna say, it's only gonna take me 5 minutes, I have a quick zipper, but I'm telling you, they sometimes have to pee, or they have strappy sandals on they have to put on, or they need a final touch up, or whatever the case may be. I'd rather you be early than be running behind. So always buffer at least 30 minutes. Okay, another fun tip for you. If you have a couple that is bringing their friend as the officiant, which we see a lot, and there's no problem with that, a few important tips. One, always make sure they know to tell the guest to sit. I cannot tell you how many times they forget to say this, even if I remind them. And also, if possible, have them remove the microphone stand when they pronounce the couple, so that during the kiss, they are not behind and the microphone stand is not behind.
It's ceremony time, but it is so windy, but it's gonna be beautiful.
My blessing is love. May your love guide you and be the strength.
Another quick tip about a space like this is that the bar is inside the reception, and it is the same bar being used for cocktail hour. So very important that you have a second shooter for a wedding like that, because you want to make sure that after the ceremony, the second shooter races over to the reception to take photos of the space before guests come and put their stuff down. That's just something that we make sure to always communicate in the timeline, mostly because selfishly, I want the photos of the design portion, right? So why not? Okay, let's briefly talk about the importance of assigned seating. So a venue like this mostly does plated service, but in this case, we did have a buffet, and it's important that we tell guests at least what table to sit at. And then once they get to their spot, it's really nice to have place settings and name cards for them, mostly because not everybody knows each other, and having them be told ahead of time where they're gonna sit is just saving them the anxiety of them choosing their own seat. And so for the venue, especially if they're doing a plated service, they need to know if any of the guests have dietary restrictions or allergies. And so they would be told that ahead of time with the guest's name. And it's really important that the name cards indicate their meal choice, indicates their allergies, so that the server knows exactly what to put in front of them during mealtime.
Mr. and Mrs. Mayor!
This hotel is also a famous music venue and have amazing artists come throughout the year. And so the couple really wanted a band called Cool Cool Cool, and they just partied the whole night away. So we had them play live for the first dance and parent dances, and then we had them kick off the party and all the guests stood up. They even did a hora dance, which is a traditional Jewish dance, and honestly, they kept the party going.
All right, everyone's dancing, so we are gonna start cleanup.
All right, friends, well, that's a wrap on this Colorado wedding. I hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes and a few tips and tricks along the way. And I want to make sure that you guys are set up for success for your own wedding. So if you have any requests of upcoming videos you want me to record or things that you want to see specifically on the wedding day, drop them in the comments below and I will make sure to record something just for you.